All right, another beautiful day in the books here across Southwest Florida as we take a look at our Soaring Smart Skycam Live. This is from the Pink Shell over at Fort Myers Beach. It's going to be a beautiful sunset this evening and a gorgeous evening to be outside across the area as those temperatures and the humidity remain on the comfortable side and rain-free conditions continue. Here's what you can expect through midweek. We're looking at temperatures remaining comfortable as well as the humidity, so that will be staying low. That will make for comfortable nights and warm afternoons. Temperatures in the morning perhaps dropping into the upper 60s in some locations, and those warm afternoons into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees each afternoon here through midweek. Chances for rain looking small all the way through the end of the week. It looks like we'll start to get the humidity back up by Friday into the weekend, and that's when we'll see a slight chance for some showers returning to the forecast. But until then, it looks like it's going to be staying mainly dry. So the radar is going to be looking a lot like this here over the next several afternoons and evenings as those temperatures now are holding into the low 80s inland. Moorhaven and Clewiston, as I mentioned, down into the low 80s there, as well as Palmdale. LaBelle and Immokalee at 84, but you get closer to the coast, Naples still running close to 90 degrees, as well as Golden Gate and down towards Marco Island. And those dew points, again, this is the number that's important, particularly this time of year. During the middle of the rainy season, and even just a few weeks ago, we had dew points in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees, even some instances in the low to mid 80s for a period there. Now we're getting back into that refreshing air. Dew points in the 50s and 60s. That makes it feel all that much better when you step outside. And that northeasterly wind at about 10 to 15 will continue here for the next couple of days. Clear skies tonight. Temperatures by midnight, mid 70s, right around 70, maybe even some upper 60s for some areas as you wake up tomorrow morning. And plenty of sunshine in the forecast again for Tuesday afternoon. So it does not look like the forecast will be changing much from day to day here through Wednesday. High pressure to our north, clockwise flow around the high, giving us that northeasterly flow. And that's going to keep us high and dry, at least for the time being. We'll start to get back to more of an east to southeast flow late week into the weekend. And that's when we'll see that increase in humidity as well as a slightly better chance for some rain. 3 tropical systems that we're watching. We're watching Jerry. We're also looking at Karen, which has dissipated to, or at least has diminished to a tropical depression. And we're looking at newly formed Lorenzo, which formed earlier today. Tropical depression Karen, you can see that it is encountering upper level wind shear as well as some dry air, so it's having some issues maintaining its intensity. But we do expect once it gets north of the islands that the conditions will become a little bit more favorable. Then high pressure in the upper atmosphere is going to strengthen over the eastern U.S. and that will effectively cause this thing to turn west. Now the models are not as bullish with developing this thing as what we were looking at yesterday or the day before, but it's one to watch just because of the pattern that we're in. Not concerned about it yet, but just be prepared. That high pressure area, though, potentially could turn this thing west, and we'll see what it does when that happens. That would be the early to middle part of next week, but right now, nothing to be concerned about. You can see what I'm talking about. The models slow it down and then eventually turn it towards the west, some turn it towards the east. Still way too early to call exactly what it's going to do, but right now, not terribly concerned about it, but we'll keep you updated if that changes. There's Jerry out in the open Atlantic, and of course, we got Lorenzo, which is likely to become a major hurricane, but it should stay well out in the open Atlantic. And we're also looking at this area of disturbed weather. Conditions may become a little bit more favorable later in the week, but only a 20% chance of development of it near the Yucatan Peninsula as it heads towards the Bay of Campeche. Future dew point. Look at these dew points staying in the 50s and 60s here over the next several days, even some 70s thrown in there, but not too bad. And that'll last through Wednesday. We will start to see an increase in the humidity later in the week. Tonight, 69 under clear skies. So lows getting into the upper 60s in some areas with a light northeast wind. 90 for tomorrow, partly cloudy, northeast winds 5 to 10 and rain free. Your Ingman Marine forecast sees 2 feet. Winds out of the northeast to north at 10 knots. Inland waters, a light chop. UV index running at about a 9. 7-day forecast, highs around 90. All the way through the end of the week. Slim chance for a shower as early as Thursday afternoon, but looks like Friday and the weekend we'll see those chances get a little better into next week, and also slightly warmer overnight temperatures as that humidity creeps back up.
Looks pretty nice. Thank you, Derek. Some important